It's time to battle in Europe, Napom. You're too good here. Please don't say that.
I think this guy is not even close to the level of Skiller, Reaps 1, Timmy, LM, Beastie, BR, etc. He can battle in Europe, but he is not the level yet to win here.
Ask him to enter TeamSpeak of European beatboxers. There's like 10 beatboxers better than him, and they are not super known yet, lol. For example, Mix Effects and Slyku. Peponi's mother is musician. Rockstar Loops is still on the jury on some events. How can Reaps 1 be beatboxing for plus 20 years? He is 24, man! Don't get me wrong, Napom is a very good beatboxer, but I think he needs more than lip rolls to beat Europeans. European level is miles away from America level. My logic is totally logic! Logic 2 times. You are just blind. German championship has way more level than this championship. And that's all what I want to do to someone who's blind. I respect your opinion, but I just don't share it. You can even check Spain championship and you'll see Napom has nothing to do there. And not even Litos or Marcus participate anymore.
But do you think Napom and Gene are gonna do well in an actual battle? They've done well overseas, but Gene won the GBB 2015, which is a showcase battle. If you pitted a really solid, aggressive battler against someone like Gene or Napom, and Europe has plenty of very experienced battlers, I'm not sure they have as great a chance as we've been led to believe they have so far from their results overseas. A chance still, but it's going to be rough. How do you think they'd fare against someone as aggressive as BNG?
I still honestly believe Napom, Kenny Urban, and even Gene would have a chance of winning, or at least getting very far in the World Championships. Yo, what the fuck is good, everyone? This is Ghost, and today I am super excited to talk about this topic because it relates a lot to American beatboxing, which is one of my favorite topics to talk about with beatboxing in general. Today's topic is the best 2-minute elimination in beatboxing history. I'm not kidding. If you disagree with my take, that's fine, but hopefully you will see some of the context and some of the, performative elements that lead me to come to this conclusion, because it has a lot of personal meaning to me, this 2-minute elimination, especially, it really inspired my personal journey with beatboxing, and I think it did the same for a lot of beatboxers as well, especially fans of the American beatboxing scene or people who were in America in general, beatboxing at the time. Something I want to note is that I was originally going to title this video Best Beatbox Elimination in History, but I decided to put the 2-minute thing in because it gets pretty opaque once you compare it to different time frames. Like, the GBB showcases technically count as eliminations too, like they're showcase eliminations, but they're still eliminations. So that's kind of a hard comparison to make between 2-minute and 4-minute or 5-minute. I kind of have ideas of how I would answer the other time frames, like 3-minute, maybe Decoy and Hot 10, 4-minute, maybe Gene in 2016 GBB, 5-minute, maybe Gene in GBB 2015, but the one that I am absolutely sure about is the best 2-minute elimination. So that is what I'm going to be talking about today, because there is a lot of context around this elimination I think makes the story pretty interesting. So let's start. So here's the context. Back then, America was pretty bad at beatboxing. This is just my personal opinion, but I can speak anecdotally. When I first started watching beatboxing, my first tournament was the Third World Beatbox Championship. I was watching the YouTube videos, and then I looked at all of these different artists like Skiller, Reaps 1, LM, BMG, Darnie, Kim, Beastie, who else? Ball Z, Monkey, MCZ. Like every single person in that top 16, I think I literally looked up all of their videos that I could find on YouTube at the time, because it was just very interesting to me how in the top 16 of the Third World Beatbox Championship, all of them had like a different style that sounded so distinct, and all of them had this approach to artistry that I consider to be revolutionary. I would honestly say like these are the best artists I've ever seen in my life, not just in beatboxing, like in general. And I literally thought Skiller and Reaps 1 were like They were like the coolest dudes on the planet. I watched every single one of their videos and started copying their stage mannerisms in real life. It was really cringe. But yeah, I was really, really like just inspired by watching the Third World Beatbox Championship. And I was like, yeah, these are probably the best artists I've seen in my life. I wonder how beatboxers are like in America, because most of these guys come from Europe. That's what I was thinking at the time. So I go to watch the 2013 American Beatbox Championships. At the time, 2014 was not uploaded yet. And I thought to myself while watching, wow, we really fucking suck. We're pretty fucking bad. I'm going to show two clips back to back that kind of represent my experience going from the Third World Beatbox Championship to the 2013 American Championships. Now, obviously, I don't want to dig into these guys too hard. I know a lot of these guys in real life. But yeah, when I was first watching the 2013 American Champs, I thought we were pretty bad. I'm not going to lie.
Fatality.
Yeah, I thought America was pretty much in the gutter when it came to beatbox level, especially compared to Europe and the global scene as a whole. But then there started to be, a few international wins here and there that each gave a little bit of momentum to the American scene. For example, Bloomer beat Jimmix at Luck Cup 2014, which was really important because that was the first international solo win for America since Butterscotch, but it was against someone really good too. I would say the second best Taiwanese beatboxer in history besides Chuen. And also there were a few good international representations, for example, Frisco and Emperor of Mike top 8, Maximilian in the second World Beatbox Championship, even though that was pretty early. And also Beat Rhino, he was the first one to win a GBB wildcard ever, I think, in 2013. There was only one spot, and Beat Rhino was the one to win it, which is cool because he was the champion of America that year. And then he came out with one of the best Swiss beatbox shoutouts I've ever seen, Speed Only, one of the sickest videos ever. I think Beat Rhino is just one of the best beatboxers in American history in general, absolutely sick, super unique. And then 2014 American Championships happened. And this was where I started to feel like America went from bad to underdog. And it was mainly because of two people, Napom and Gene. And, at the time, these videos were coming out one at a time. I didn't know the results yet. But when I was watching through these videos, I was like, there's no way Napom loses, right? Because he was just so far ahead of everyone else in that tournament. And he kind of gave me that same feeling that those European beatboxers, mainly European, there were some Asians as well and stuff, in 2012, Third World Beatbox Championship, Napom kind of gave me that same feeling of bringing a revolutionary style to beatboxing. So I was like, this guy is so much farther ahead compared to everyone else. And I think maybe he is a glimmer of hope. Maybe he can do something internationally. And that was a big point of discourse and debate in the YouTube comments. YouTube comments for beatboxing used to be pretty lit back then. And people were just arguing oh, can Napom beat a European? Can Napom not beat a European? Kind of like the comments I showed at the beginning of this video, which I thought were hilarious in hindsight. And yeah, then America really started to get some momentum after Gene's wild card. In my opinion, that was the best wild card in history, Gene's Jigsaw GBB wild card. I know that's a hot take. People are probably going to disagree with me, but you guys can go fuck yourselves. I think it's the best wild card in history. Gene released Jigsaw, then entered GBB 2015 and won. And that was fucking crazy. That was a big step for the American beatbox scene. And I was really starting to think oh wow, America is really starting to do well internationally, especially, Kenny Urban was there as well, and he did really well in the Seven to Smoke against people like Alem and other top European beatboxers. I thought it was getting really sick. This was all leading up to the World Beatbox Championship in 2015, the 4th World Beatbox Championship. And before we go into that, there's something I want to talk about, which is the way Napom makes routines. So you've all heard this before. He did it against Wing. He did it against VIII. I'll show an example. But Napom does this thing, which is sort of like mashup routines, which is he takes all of his signature beats that he has previously done because his beats are very memorable, and then he mashes them together, flowing from one idea to the next.
I heard you like that trap music, that fucking trap music. Like an earthquake. Wait, I think I got one more left.
And sometimes he does that, and this was basically his idea going into the 4th World Beatbox Championship, is that he would take all of his best beats and really showcase that, because I think this was his first international tournament ever. So he really wanted to show his stuff. Allegedly, what I've heard is that he dropped out of school or dropped out of whatever for this. So Napom was really planning to make beatboxing his life when he was entering the 4th World Beatbox Championship. So this was something that's very important to know. There's also a few routines you should know before we go into the next part. So shout out to Adam Andrew Corre, who recorded some of this. Beatbox Canada also recorded some of this. So yeah, I'm just gonna show some clips because you should know these before we go into the next part.
We got 3!
Feel me on this one. Dip, 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 I dip, I dip, you dip, I dip, I dip, 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 I dip, I dip, you dip, 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 I dip, I dip, you dip, I dip, I dip, 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 dip. Dip, I dip, I dip, you. Dip, I dip, you dip, oh.
Punch you like that trap music, that fucking trap music. Double up.
So yeah, 1 year after the 2014 American Beatbox Championships, a few months after GBB 2015, everyone is at 4th World Beatbox Championships. Napom beat Rhino, Gene, and I was 1 year into beatboxing at this point, and just like looking up all the videos that I could find, and I tuned into the live stream, and I gotta say, the live stream was pretty lit back then for the World Beatbox Championship. It felt like everyone in the live stream really knew a lot about beatboxing, because everyone was kind of shitting on all the beatboxers. And then I think Ibarra came out third. And then everyone in the chat was like, finally, someone good. Like the chat was kind of like a Twitch chat, but they just knew a lot about beatboxing. It's kind of like the opposite of the GBB live stream chat, who thought that Big Ben was copying Trumbao when he did I'm a Big Boy, when it's actually the other way around. Trumbao was actually just paying tribute to Big Ben. That's like if I said BMG was copying Benjamin from Romania. Like, if you don't know that story, Benjamin from Romania was someone who went on Romania's Got Talent, and he got a golden buzzer doing BMG's routines. I'm not kidding about this. You can look it up. And I think he's still active today. His name is like Ben Beat. This is like one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen happen. Give BMG a golden buzzer. He deserves it. Because like, why someone else copied him and got all this accolade because of it? But yeah, I was tuning into this live stream, and everyone in the chat who was like aware of the American scene was like, you guys gotta wait for Napom. You guys gotta wait for Napom. People already knew about Gene because he won GBB 2015. So eyes were already on him, but Napom, you know, he hadn't had an international showing yet. And there were like doubters in the live stream, like European doubters, like, oh, dude, like, what is Napom gonna do? It might not have been just Europeans. There might have been some Asian ones, you know, other continents, but people didn't know who Napom was. And then he goes up.
Beatbox Battle TV live with my brother Napom. Are you ready? Start.
Dip, 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 I dip, you dip, she dip, I dip, 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 I dip, you dip, 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 I dip, you dip, I dip, she dip, I dip, 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 low to the ground. Dip, 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 dip. Yo, I heard you like that trap music, that fucking trap music. Heard you like that trap music, that fucking trap. What? Heard you like that trap music, the fucking trap. Stay cool and breathe.
Oh my God! Napom is destroying it!
Everyone's reaction was absolutely fucking crazy. I was freaking out in the school library watching this live stream. Everyone in the live stream was freaking out. All the Americans were like, yeah, American power! And then, you know, like all the people who were doubting Napom were like, oh shit. Okay, wait, yeah, this guy's actually dangerous. And, you know, the rest is history. He gets vice world champion. And then from then on, I kind of miss America being the underdog. Maybe we're kind of going back to that point, and that's when we'll start winning GBBs again and stuff. But yeah, America kind of stopped being an underdog because Americans won 3 GBBs in a row, and Napom's performance really put the American scene on the map. Not just Napom, but, you know, everyone started being good. Like the rest of the Beatbox house members started showing up. Kayla won the female world beatbox championship category twice. Like everyone just started popping off in the American scene. And I think like, you know, a lot of it is because of that elimination and that overall world's performance by Napom. I think he is really someone that put America on the map and moved the scene forward because of his performances internationally. And I have a lot of gratitude for that, because the American scene is one of my main inspirations for why I wanted to get involved in the scene and why I wanted to battle. And like during that video, you could just see this circle of American beatboxers that are really supportive towards Napom and like just like jumping and getting hype. I feel like that is a representation of how I felt, how all of the American beatboxers felt while watching this elimination. Like it was so inspiring, like not only putting all of his signature routines together, but also just popping off like that internationally and getting first seed. I don't know if it was Bilo or Camro, but someone announced during the event, during the live stream, where you could also see like the judge votes and stuff, that Napom was the first seed of that event. And that's actually crazy, because I would argue that this event, as well as the Third World Beatbox Championship, are the two most important beatboxing tournaments in history. And yeah, Napom just absolutely killed it. Like going from that signature dip routine, and then the trap music one, and then doing all of these different techniques that would become like sort of like the foundation of his style later on. And then ending with Stay Cool and Breathe with that fucking sick drop. Like just, it's like, even just doing a couple of those routines, he was in top 16, but just like, it was like overkill with Stay Cool and Breathe. Like he was just doing all the sickest drops. And that, like this, for a lot of people, this was their first time hearing Napom. Like for a lot of people on the live stream, they had headphones on. That was their first time hearing that bass. For all the people in person, that was their first time hearing Napom's lip roll shaking the room like that and just absolutely tearing the place apart. And imagine just listening to that for the first time, and it's on the biggest stage ever. People are looking at Napom. People are, you know, spreading rumors about Napom, saying, oh, this guy's a dangerous guy from America. Like he is absolutely sick. He is going to make a really big impact on his competition. Absolutely phenomenal. Like I can't praise this performance enough. I really can't. And I do have a lot of enthusiasm for how fucking sick his run was in the Fourth World Beatbox Championship. So yeah, that's it for this video. I also wanted to take this time to thank everyone. I know this is really late, but I just wanted to thank everyone for 1,000 subscribers and all of the love, all of the encouraging comments I've been getting on the previous videos I make about American beatboxing or beatboxing in general, even just like the talking videos. I'm really, really grateful for it. Like I'm still learning how to be a better, like I guess like video creator. And I'm still trying to learn as much as possible about beatboxing in general, and just try to be like, you know, this base of knowledge. But you know, I had some like really, really encouraging comments from all of you guys, and some encouraging DMs, and you know, people even saying to me in person that they watch my videos, they like my videos, and it really means a lot to me. Like I'm really just doing all of this beatboxing video stuff out of passion, because you know, I do a lot of research on beatboxing, and it's the topic that I feel the most passion for, so I want to make videos about it. And you know, it's just hearing people like that, like the stuff that I'm making, it does mean a lot to me. And if you guys have video ideas, let me know. If there's anything you want to see more from me, let me know. I have some great video ideas coming out, some like older European battles, some like specific performances. And, you know, I want to talk a little bit more about like beatboxing in the mainstream, because I kind of want to go to certain anecdotes about that. Maybe I'll do a Q&A at some point. Like, you know, if you have specific questions, want to get my opinion on things, I might do a Q&A. But yeah, I have all these ideas for different videos. Of course, I'm going to continue the American Championship retrospective as well. 2013 is actually the next one I'm going to do, ironically. Just really, really grateful for all of your guys' support, and I'll see you guys next time. Seriously, thank you guys.